I went to Africa in 2000, to South Africa and Botswana, and my intent when I left was to return within 2 years. Life got in the way, 9/11 happened, it became not such a safe place to go to, so it took me a while, and finally I decided I had to draw a line in the sand and get on a plane and go before we got rid of all these endangered species altogether. So for this trip, I wanted to have as many intimate experiences with different species as I possibly could. The trip was planned around elephants, but I also made a real point to have serious rhino time, serious giraffe time, and any animal that would let me within arm's length, I was going to try to do it. I also wanted to make sure we traveled in a very educated, careful manner, leaving a very small footprint behind, not exploiting the travel industry, but really only traveling with camps that gave back to the community. When I first arrived in Africa, it felt completely surreal. You're exhausted from this ridiculous flight, you get off the plane, you look around, and you know you are so far from home and so far out of your own element, and you have to give up the concept of, I want to control my day-to-day life, and you have to really have faith that the trip is going to go well. It's a magical place. It feels endless, and coming from New York City, to have that much amount of vast open space and the smells of it, it's incredible. The locals were so inviting, so embraced us. They were incredibly educated. I would say that in Africa, they are now much more proud of their animals and realize it's a resource that needs to be protected. In the past, some of these animals were absolutely a threat to them. So an elephant would be considered a threat to them because it might come into their village and ruin their farmland or this kind of thing. But now they're learning how to work with the animals and to understand them and embrace them more. I think that in the US, we are very good about our domestic animals, but we're not as in tune with our wild animals. It would be worth it probably for all of us to go out and travel in the US and learn a little bit more about our wild animals and try to value them a little bit more. If you only have a minute to help animals, I would say reading, going through and looking at the websites of many of the foundations that help these animals, signing petitions to help these animals, and educating friends and family. If you have more time to help the animals, I would say educating yourself by reading a book or watching a video. Typically, all of these foundations give you easy ways to help. But if you have even more time and you want to take a trip and volunteer and go out and see what work is being done, that's fantastic too.